All right, team, year 8's listening, eyes and ears towards the board. So, give yourself enough space. I'm recording this one, and remember, team, year 8's, thank you. On Friday, listening, on Friday, we're ready? We're ready? On Friday, I will make videos to explain division. Right now, I'm just going to explain multiplying terms. So you learnt the idea of adding and subtracting to simplify a line or an expression. Okay? Now, we want to simplify multiplying terms. So here's the difference, and this is where most students confuse between 5C and 5D. I'll show you. So in 5C, you learnt this pattern. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. You knew that is how many groups of 5? 4. So you would write 4 groups, which is times 5. But we know there is a difference between 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and then in year 7, this is what you learned. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Now, what's a shorter way of writing that? How do you write a shorter way? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to write shorter ways of writing things. 5, not 4, not 5 times 4. Because we don't have 5 groups of 4. 5 to the power 4, very good, AJ. So, listening. Please copy this down. Now, listening. Your 8s. Eyes and ears towards the board. So you can see, addition, repeated addition, we change it to multiplication. Repeated multiplication, we changed it to indices. Most students will pick up on this, but when it comes to pronumerals and letters, most students will then make a mistake. So here we go. I'm going to show you an example. This is what you were doing in 5C. 5C, you would have done A plus A plus A plus A. Okay, if you were to simplify this, no one wants to write A plus A plus A plus A. It takes too long. The shorter way is what? This is what you were doing in 5C. What does that simplify to?
4 times.
4 times A. Very good. So 4 groups of A, which is the same thing as? 4A. Very good, because we're too lazy to write the times symbol, right? Now, when you go into multiplying terms, which is 5D, this is slightly different, because this was always add, add, add. Now we're not adding. That's why it's important to look at the terms, what you're doing. If I gave you A times A times A times A, what should this equal to? See, I don't want to write A times A times A times A. It takes too long. A to the power 4. Very good, Logan and AJ. Very good. So A to the power 4. See the difference? Most students will make that mistake. So when I give it in the test, I often see, if I gave them A times A, sometimes even my year 11 still write 2A. That's wrong. Because they're timesing. It's not 2A, it is A to the power 2. This is the wrong answer, and the right answer is A squared. They're mixing between repeated addition with repeated multiplication. The correct answer is A squared, not 2A. Okay, so most students will follow that, and you'll see you might trip up on that too. So in the questions, you'll be working on questions where they want you to multiply, but make sure it's multiplied. Repeated multiplication is indices. Don't mix the two. Most kids will get really good at 5C, and then 5D, they mix it up. So here we go. Let's do one example. I'm just going to do A, and then these type of questions, the one with divisions, I'll make a video for Friday so you can watch. Okay, but I'm assuming most of you will start 5D on Friday, not today. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's do A. You've got 7A times. See, notice it's times, not add. It's times 2BC times 3D. Okay, now, not adding, but let's break it apart. Let's use what you know. 7A, what does that mean again?
7 A's.
7 A's, or 7 groups of A. So if you write 7 groups of A, it's the same thing as writing 7 times A. Very good. So break it down. So 7 times A, and then again we've got another times. What's 2BC mean?
2 times B.
Very good. 2 times BC, or 2 times B times C again. Okay, anytime you see a letter and a letter, it just means times with each other. We're just too lazy to write it. Yeah? Then we see another times. What's 3D mean?
3 times B.
Very good. See how I'm breaking it apart? Now, remember in multiplication, it doesn't matter about the order. I don't know what 7 times A is. No one does. Because we don't know what A is. I don't know what 2 times B is. No one knows. But I do know something. What do I know in this entire line?
2, 3.
Very good. We know the 7, we know the 2, and we know the 3. And remember, because the order doesn't matter, you can write it like this. You can write 7 times 2, okay? And then that's times 3 there. So I can write times 3, and then I can write the rest. Times A, times B, times C, times D. See, I rearranged it because it's okay. In multiplication, it doesn't matter which order. But the beauty by doing this is I can times them. I know what 2 times 3 is. What's 2 times 3? 6. But then 7 times 6 is what?
42.
42. See, I can simplify that. I don't need to write 7 times 2 times 3. I might as well just write 42. This is all times. Now, I don't know what A times B times C times D is. Yeah. You just write A, B, C, D because we're too lazy to write the times. So this is A, B, C, D. But again, we're too lazy to write the times. Oh, perfect. Very good, Keeper. There you go. So that is multiplication. Be careful with the squares and indices. That's the only thing you got to be careful of. Okay, so here we go. Remember, I'll make a video for this as well, but that's what the difference between 5D and 5C is. One last example. Let's see how good you guys are now. 3xy.
5x.
Very good. Let's put this 2 together now. Here we go. All right, you rates. Eyes and ears towards me. You rates. Listening. You rates. You rates. We ready?
I'm ready.
I'm waiting. Luke is ready. Good. One last one. So before, you didn't have common letters. I want you to now do the same thing as before. Break it apart. So have a look. 3xy. What does that mean again?
3 times x times y.
Very good. This is another times.
X times y.
Very